Hello, and thank you for joining us for Westchester University's second annual Gender Justice Conference. My name is Dana Pratt, and I use she, her pronouns. I am a peer educator at the Center for Women and Gender Equity. I am so thrilled to welcome you on behalf of the Gender Justice Conference Planning Committee, the Center for Women and Gender Equity, and Westchester University, as well as the 150th Anniversary Diversity Speaker Series. I would like to first thank BB&T, now Truist Bank, Essential Utilities, and West Pharmaceuticals Services for their support. We are so honored to have participants from the WCU community and across the country joining us for this inaugural conference brought to you virtually. This conference was intentionally hosted near the end of Women's History Month and just before the start of Sexual Assault Awareness Month, in hopes of unifying the conference committee's goals of addressing gender-based oppression and centering joy and liberation for all. This conference's intention is to actively promote and advocate for a world community that values the safety, equality, and intellectual advancement of women and other historically marginalized groups. Our long-term vision for social justice is a continuously co-created environment where transformative justice is possible, where everyone's safety is secured, and where everyone finds a space of connection and belonging. And it is with this vision in mind that we intend to create the Gender Justice Conference. This conference centers the experiences of BIPOC women and femmes, trans and queer people, folks living with disabilities, and those who have experiences of harm. Since its inception, the Center for Women and Gender Equity has focused on ensuring that the material needs of women and other historically marginalized groups organize the scope, purpose, and direction of our work. Third Wave Fund, a youth-led activist organization, defines gender justice as a movement to end patriarchy, transphobia, and homophobia, and to create a world free of misogyny. This definition recognizes the multitude of ways that gender-based oppression intersects with other forms of oppression. This approach is grounded in an intellectual and social movement organizing tradition of intersectionality. Intersectionality, as a critical social theory and practice, proposes that social identity categories are socially constructed and are mutually, complexly, and interdependently constituted and shape every aspect of our daily life. These demand a close examination of the operation of systemic power and the complex experiences of privilege and oppression. As SWEGE moves into its 48th year of continuous operation at WCU, the commitment to gender justice remains strong, with increased attention to the ways diverse gender identities, gender expressions, and lived experiences of gender shape the material circumstances of people's lives. Westchester University is located on the traditional homelands of the Lenape tribe of Native Americans, also referred to as the Delaware Indians. We acknowledge the Lenape as the original people of this land and their continuing relationship with the territory. Westchester University strives to create an inclusive environment for students, faculty, staff, alumni, and all other campus community members. Any demonstration of bias, racism, derogatory remarks, or any other actions that individually or systemically harm others have no place in our university community and will not be tolerated. By attending or participating in these events, you acknowledge that you will engage in the environment in a supporting and affirming manner with an openness to learn and collaboratively engaged with the environment created by facilitators. Failure to adhere with this statement will not be tolerated, and you may be asked to leave the event or activity. Together, we can work to build an inclusive and welcoming environment for all. This annual event is hosted and sponsored by the Center for Women and Gender Equity in partnership with the Center for Civic Engagement and Social Impact, the Center for Queer and Trans Advocacy, the Counseling Center, Dowdy Multicultural Center, Graduate Social Work, Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, Office of New Student Programs, Office of Student Conduct, Office of Wellness Promotion, Parent and Family Relations, Peace and Conflict Studies, Political Science Department, Undergraduate Social Work, and Women's and Gender Studies Department. I want to take a moment to specifically thank the members of our Gender Justice Conference Planning Committee for their work these last few months to make this conference a reality. Please join me in offering our deep gratitude and appreciation to these folks. Thank you so much for attending this conference, addressing gender-based oppression and centering joy and liberation for all.